So we get to chat to.
Hello.
Ah, it is you. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I just answered the phone, luckily.
Okay, good, because it's called a restaurant here, apparently, not a cafe. So
the cafe did
or
a
tea
anyway,
room over there.
Listen, just quickly, I just went on to Google Australia.
Yeah.
And it's got here, what's worse, getting smashed up by the rest of the world at the Olympics or knowing that the Aussie coaches are helping them off? 14 gold medals. Foreign athletes trained by Australians have won 14 gold medals.
Yow.
14.
14. But
And
you
the
can't
same-
claim those, Campo.
No, we're not claiming it. I'm just
Okay.
saying, this is what they're saying, is that Australian coaches are helping, and one of the Chinese coaches are believed to pick up $500,000 by coaching the Chinese swimmer.
Wow.
So you can see why they're leaving.
Exactly, they're getting the money. But we were saying a little earlier, who were we chatting to? Oh, yes, Solomon's dad. And obviously they've been in Australia for 24 years.
Yep.
And we were saying, I was thinking yesterday while I was watching that lad actually running his... Thanks, Johnny.
Sorry, Deez.
When he was running his heat. This is not a test, John.
No.
And I was just thinking, 2000, you couldn't identify a sport where Australia weren't world dominant, unless
That's
it was
right.
one of those stupid American sports. I mean, netball, hockey, cricket, soccer, rugby. Well, not soccer, but I mean, they were still doing pretty well there. Rugby, Olympic Games. And you would, why would they suddenly stop funding? Because it doesn't carry on forever.
No, I know, mate, but unfortunately the governments, for some reason, as you said, you've got to invest to win. And I think the paper said that we've actually won a second gold. We got Sally Pearson in the 100 metres hurdle. She was the fastest. So we could end up in a guy called Diamond shooting. So we could end up with 4 gold medals. So we could be just ahead of you now.
No, but remember we've got Caster Semenya coming, and we've also got who
Sunette.
tomorrow? Sunette Falun,
Falun.
who will win gold in the in her field event.
And Safisa and Klapu.
Safisa and Schlapu.
And Baristanda.
Baristanda.
Yeah.
List goes on, my friend.
Could be interesting.
We'll get about 8.
Plus we got 4 for the rowing. That's 4 golds, technically.
No, that's called 1.
No, it's 4, bro.
It's 4.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, what was the headline in the Kiwis are going to town at the moment? Did you see the headline in one of their papers in Auckland today?
No.
Other way around.
What?
The Aussies are going to town.
What was their headline?
Oh, they're claiming the Kiwis now. That's how desperate these guys are.
Oh yeah,
Oh, don't be.
Yeah.
Not bad as the Poms.
yeah, I know. We none of us like them. Now the headline in the Kiwi paper today in Auckland was every dark Australian cloud has a silver fern.
But I tell you, but the thing is, Darren, as you know, what goes around comes around, and the thing is that you do it over the years, you win, and then you start losing, and people remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I tweeted on Twitter the other day. I said, just to be realistic about the Poms, how many foreign coaches from Australia and South Africa are helping them? And I said, obviously they've learned. They've went and they spend the money. Geez, I cop some abuse. Go back home, you're convict, and this. I said, oh hell, that my dad's Italian.
Not the first time, right, David?
No, well, tell the truth, you get in trouble, Darren.
Exactly.
You might as well lie, so well done, England.
All right, let's turn our attention now to the rugby and the flush out. It shouldn't be a long discussion today. Just how much of that was the whole travel weary aspect that saw the Sharks getting thumped in that game.
Yeah, I think there was a lot. We did talk about it last week, but you could see, the Sharks started off pretty well in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And Udana could have actually scored that try, slipped over. And those little things we talked about, the Crusaders did the same last year. Just the little things let them down. And then realistically, it was after that, it was just one horse race. I mean, the Chiefs wanted it. Their physicality, they took it to them. They did a few things. But the interesting thing with the Chiefs was that Sonny Bill Williams was one player. There was Cruden. There was 5 or 6 other good players where the Sharks really relied on Michalak because no one else really stood up. And if he didn't play well, everyone's looking around and said, well, what's happened, guys? Where the week before he dictated play, he controlled, he drop kicked, he did everything. But if you have a look at that game again, you have Paul Freddie he didn't have no options because we were outside and giving him options.
Yeah.
As soon as they took JP off and put Boschman on, I mean, the options are getting worse. The wingers didn't get the ball. Pat Lambie, unfortunately, should not have played. He hasn't played for 3 weeks. You don't throw a guy into a game with no game time into a final. They should have either left him on the bench and started with the same 15, and then obviously things changed. Bring him on, but you can see he was timid. he hadn't played, and when you play in the final in the wets, you're not used to, a couple of balls dropped here and there. It just wasn't good, and the combinations just didn't work. Jet lag, combinations of that, and even the scrum. The scrum wasn't as dominant as it was the week before against the Stormers.
Yeah. One key area, and I mean, we're not going look. They were completely outplayed, but the Chiefs front row guy should have been, and I think he has been cited, but it's after the horses bolted. Take away one of their front row forwards for that tackle on Campese. Should have been a red card the way he hit him, because they've said in the post-match thing, the citing commissioner said that he's been cited for what is possibly a red card offence.
Yeah.
Make a big difference?
Probably not. I mean, it's great to be after the fact. I mean, it was a shocking tackle, but I must say the linesmen actually controlled the game pretty well. There was fights galore, and they said, look, I didn't really see you started. And that was great, because if he said yes, number 4 did it off, then you would have had 5 guys in the bin.
Yeah.
So realistically, we talk about referees, linesmen, not destroying the game. They actually did the other by saying, they didn't see a lot, let the game flow, but, the World Cup last year, the Frenchman, I think one of the forwards did a high tackle on the Frenchman. Everyone missed that as well. So do you really want a final where guys have been sent off, and then you say, well, hold it, if it was for that sent off, the game would have been different. So you can talk whatever you like, but realistic, the Chiefs will have one of the best teams of the year.
Yeah.
And the other thing you talk about, if you want to be in that, you've got to finish 1 or 2 to get home semi-finals and finals. Simple. That's why you're supposed to come first and second. That's the reward for being the best team all year, second best team all year.
All right. I mean, it's Craig Joubert. The interesting thing is Craig Joubert was there pretty close to the action. Now, how difficult, that is a test of a referee's mettle. If he's playing assistant ref, he's on the touchline standing in front of baying Chief supporters, and you've got to be the guy that puts your flag out and then calls that one of your own players is to be sent off. It takes big kahunas if you do it.
But Darren, I mean, the thing is, it's a final. I mean, would it have changed the game? Probably not. If you look at the rest of the game, I mean, as I said, the Sharks, they didn't have a lot of options. Everything was based around Michalak. The weather was poor. When you're not used to that sort of weather, there's nothing worse, and I've done it before, turn up to New Zealand and it's pouring, it's cold, and you say, what are we really doing here?
Yeah.
But again, you've got to give credit to the Sharks. They got there. They did all the hard work, but unfortunately, like the Crusaders the year before, you've got to finish first or second. The time is not travelling, and that definitely was a bonus for the Chiefs.
For bridge too far. Simon?
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to say. You've got to give credit to the Sharks. They haven't used the exhaustive travel as an excuse, but the fact is that there really was only one team in that final.
There was, and you can see that the enthusiasm, and they did the same the week before against the Crusaders. Their defence destroyed everybody. The Sharks didn't really get a lot of opportunities. They did in the first half, but the Chiefs were there in numbers, and that's the enthusiasm you showed in the final. There was a talk before the game about these two teams haven't won the Super 15 or Super Rugby. I mean, that's the whole idea of it, is that the best teams are supposed to get there. And the Sharks were, towards the end, they showed the best form. But unfortunately, if you have a look at their back line, there wasn't anyone who was really a danger to the opposition. Probably Peterson, but he didn't get the ball. So how can you be a danger if you don't get the ball?
All right, well, look, I mean, it's pretty cut and dried. They just weren't up to it. They played their worst game of the season, and the Chiefs thoroughly deserved to win the game, and that's it. Super Rugby done.
That's right. That's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. So,
looking ahead to next year, though, Campo, do you keep the format as it is, or do you possibly put a week or two in between the semis and the final and give the team that has to travel a chance to recover? Otherwise, you face a repeat of this year.
No, but that's the advantage of finishing top.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
that's it. I mean, the thing is, so you're basically saying you finish on top, and the team travels. So what we'll do is we'll give them a chance, where you've been the best team all year, to give them an extra week. Do you think that's fair?
No, but what I'm saying is that if you're travelling to Australasia, it's gonna take it out of you anyway.
But unfortunately, that's why you finish first and second.
Don't lose your early games. Don't play catch-up rugby. Finish
That's
sixth
right.
and get to a final, because it's you got no open hell.
Yeah.
It's just a pity that it seems that tournaments should be decided on which team is the least jet lagged.
Well, that's not the point. The point is the two best teams are supposed to be up the top, and you're supposed to win. That's what the knockout's for. And if you're not good enough, the Stormers were good enough, they would have played at home final, but they weren't good enough because they played defensive rugby. I was going to say another word, defensive rugby all year. But unfortunately, the Chiefs were the second best team. They were the best team by miles in New Zealand. So why should they be sacrificed because they're best? You know, and the thing is, you got Test series thrown in between, which is ridiculous. Next year, you got the John O'Neill whinging now that they want a longer break because they've got to play the British Lions.
Nah, stuff him.
So all of a sudden, everybody wants what they want, and they all decided to start the competition this way. And now they're saying, "Well, we've got problems. Oh, we need a rest because we've travelled so much." You know, and the Sharks have got to travel to Cape Town this week to play the Stormers.
Yeah,
So
and they're talking about playing their players as well. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, there's too much rugby, and they've just got to sort it out, unfortunately.
Here we go. As I said earlier, it's to appease John O'Neill and the Aussies for the Aussies over there, so they can try and keep the game somewhere in the profile while they battle against all those other sports. Just very quick, have you got the fixtures there for the weekend, Simon?
Oh, excuse me, I don't.
Okay, don't worry about it.
No,
it's
that's fine. I can get it
because we
quickly.
are in Super Brew now. So Curry Cup starts this weekend.
Yep.
And a few predictions from you, Mr. Campese, if you
That's right, no problem.
if you don't mind.
I
Have you
can
got
do
them there, Simon?
Just give me a second.
Well, I'll go for the Sharks against the Stormers.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Okay.
Are you saying that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Bulls against Griquas.
Bulls.
By how many?
Oh, forget it.
Okay. Golden Lions
His
against...
bottle of wine has arrived. He's getting in front of a fireplace and he's about to have his wine.
Rubicon. I've got
Oh,
Another one.
No, I
Only
hate
the
you.
best for you.
Today.
Mearless Rubicon.
Which
Wow.
year?
Yes, 2007.
Oh,
Oh,
that's okay.
My wife's birthday.
oh is
Oh.
it? Happy birthday, Lar.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thank you. I'll let her know that.
Wondering what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Lions against the Cheetahs.
The Lions.
Okay.
Seriously.
Next.
Yep. Next.
Okay, then Province against the Sharks.
I've said that.
As you said.
Sharks.
You say Sharks, even with their second stringers, there's no ways they're going to play
You
there.
can't win if you're not going to score tries. So
All right, there we go.
I can't say they're going to change their rugby style over a 2-week period.
Yeah. All right, well, there we have it. Those are your predictions. We'll see how right you're on Monday when we're back, and we'll chat to you again Monday afternoon on
I
the
should
flush
be in
out.
Durban. No, actually, no. On Monday, I'll be actually in Hong Kong.
We'll Skype you from there.
Skype will be a lot better. Yes.
What are you doing there?
It might be a bit late in the evening.
I'm off to Hong Kong for my academy next week, and then I'm off to Singapore the weekend after. Then I'm off to Australia, and then I'm off to the Bledisloe Cup in New Zealand.
All right. Well, we might be recording a couple of our flush outs with you. Then.
Oh,
I
no,
think
you'll be right. I'll be easy. There'll be nice time zones. No problem.
Yeah, right. 1 o'clock in the morning.
Easy.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Just don't go anywhere near Eddie Jones, otherwise
I won't.
you won't understand a word you're saying.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, mate.
Cheers,
Bye.
man.
See you
Bye
guys.
bye. There we go. That's David Campese from the Champagne Resort on his travels. And
We the best on 3. 1, 2, 3. We the best.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays live on Ballz.co.za. Ballz.co.za.